Hello everybody, I am Xavier Ortega. Other than Red vs. Blue, RWBY has been the standard bearer for Rooster Teeth animations. It's like the biggest animated show for Rooster Teeth. And while a huge load of great characters and an amazing story, there have already been 5 volumes to this. And I'm going to rank them. Every volume of RWBY ranked from worst to best. Number 5 is Volume 2. Okay, yeah, we're introduced the history between Blake and Torchwick, and her having some affiliation with the White Fang. And I did like the food fight from the first episode. That was pretty awesome to see. But I feel like the story between Blake and Roman doesn't have as much impact as Blake and Adam does. Blake and Adam is better, but Blake and Roman is not. I think this is the volume where we were more introduced to the shipping known as Bumblebee. If those of you who don't know what Bumblebee is basically Blake x Yang, or Blake and Yang. Number 4, and this is not on purpose, Volume 4. Now, this is the first volume where all 5 ladies, RWBY, Weiss, Blake and Yang, have been separated apart and are now on their own journeys. We were introduced to the background between Ren and Nora. And while we were introduced to people like Salem and Arthur and Tyrion, I feel like this volume just totally depicts the concepts of RWBY. I feel like all 4 ladies are better together than apart. Number 3, it's the first volume. Even though this is the first volume, so we haven't seen these people yet, I feel like the story needed some time to develop. Yeah, we did have some conflict of why Weiss was jealous that RWBY was picked as Team RWBY, as the leader of Team RWBY, and not her. And I think that's what started White Rose. If any of you don't know what White Rose is, it's basically the same thing as Bumblebee, but this time it's RWBY x Weiss. RWBY and Weiss. But, like I said, this was the first volume, so we had everything, so it's needed some time to develop. Number 2 is the recent one, Volume 5. It finally took them the entire series, but Cinder is finally dead. Cinder is finally gone from the series. They should have done that in Volume 3. Now, I got a little emotional when all 4 ladies, I kind of went crazy when all 4 ladies reunited finally. I know I said this before. This is the first volume that all 4 ladies were reunited. They have not seen each other. Well, yeah. At the end of the final episode of this volume, this is the first time all 4 ladies were reunited, and the only thing that we get were nods from RWBY and Blake. They do eventually end up hugging by the end of the episode, but come on. You gotta give us more, Rooster Teeth. We were introduced to Alia, and we know her history with her and Blake. And Lionheart died because Salem thought he couldn't get the job done. But I think this volume was good. It wasn't okay, it wasn't the greatest, it was good. And finally, at number 1, it's the 3rd volume. In the middle of the Vital Festival. I feel that RWBY Volume 3 was the best volume of the series. I know that I got a little emotional seeing the history between Blake and Adam. And though we did lose Pyrrha and Penny, and Weiss did get her arm chopped off, I feel like all the matches, all the fights in the tournament were really good. I feel like we were introduced to more characters. There was better character development. The soundtrack was good, and best of all, we were introduced to Crow and Winter, which we still have yet to figure out why they have history with each other. Although it did bother me that all 4 ladies were going to be separated at the end of the episode. But other than that, I feel like RWBY Volume 3 was the best volume of the series. Do you guys think otherwise? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.